I'm Anushka Sharma. I'm one of the producers of Bulbbul.
Hi, I'm Anvita Dutt. I have written and directed a film called Bulbbul.
Hi, I'm Karnesh Sharma. I'm one of the producers of the film Bulbbul.
Bulbbul releases on Netflix on 24th June. Please watch it. Okay, guys, so our trailer just dropped today. Our labor of love. We've been working on it for 1.5 years. And, I think it's time that we talk about it. So, Anvita, I have some questions for you. This is your first film as a director. You've been a writer of some incredible movies in the past and a lyricist as well. But I want to ask you, why Bulbbul? Why did you choose a story about a chudel, and what does a chudel really mean to you?
So actually, I think for me, it was a story about every girl, because we are conditioned to be nice. We are conditioned to be versions of ourselves which other people want to see. And I was actually, initially, it wasn't really for the world or anything. I just wanted to tell a story about owning yourself up and saying that this is who I am, what broken bits and all, and you have to be comfortable with who I am. So just accepting yourself, and that's where I think that's where the power lies, when we girls especially, because we're conditioned to be other people's idea of ourselves. So it started off like that, but essentially I was just telling a fable, because that's what I love. Reading that, I've grown up on that. I'm at heart a small town girl, and especially in small towns, you'll always hear these myths and legends. Acha, don't go to that tree. There's a chudel on the tree. Don't go at night. Don't cross that forest. Us khet se nahi jana. Wahan pe koi attack kar dega. Lion hai.
Yeah, like Dadi Ma ki stories.
Exactly. So I want to tell those, जो रात को छत पे मंजी बिछा के, what your nani used to tell. I wanted to tell a story like that. I wanted to spin a yarn like that. Yes, it is inherently about girls growing up, girls figuring out who they are, but I was having fun. And because I had so much fun, I had decided, oh, you know what, I'm not going to give, because I was a commissioned writer till then, but I had so much fun writing it that I was like, I'm going to direct this. I'm not giving this to anybody.
Yeah, and so, I mean, in a way that, you can even say that maybe being the chudel is just symbolic of how women are expected to be, and anything deviant of that gives you all sorts of names.
Exactly. We catch little girls and say, she's a chudel, because she's not behaving the way she's supposed to.
Because
and tell me something like
patriarchy doesn't support it in that sense.
Yeah. Like a set way of, because whatever you're comfortable with, like their image, whatever image you're comfortable seeing. But tell me something, like you were talking about these Indian stories that you grew up listening to. Me and Karnesh also have, spoken about this many times and heard these sort of stories growing up. All of us have. But since all of us have heard these stories, and you hear them in almost all cultures, these sort of stories, they're just different names for it. Like the characters might have different, these sort of entities might have different names, but everyone hears it all of. So do you think in a way it's sort of universal, these stories? And if they are, what makes it so universal?
I think what makes it universal, first of all, is always these beings, these supernatural beings are women. First of all, that's common everywhere. It's always the women. And the moment you have anything that frightens people, anything which is spirit, rage, intelligence, agency, they give it a demonic name. And that is what is, I think, common across the world when it comes to these, whether it's a succubus or a witch or a demon or a chudel or Diane, any of Pishachini, all these things are just different names given to feminine forces.
I think it's quite interesting because historically it's also been these tags attached to women who have been strong and come out of patriarchy and resisted that. It's also been tags given to women who try to free themselves out of the norms. So I think that is an interesting part in itself.
Yeah, like even that witch hunting, when you just went
Yeah.
after a woman, and when, even though the intent might not have been demonic or wrong, but just because it was deviant of the
Yes.
patriarchy that people were used to, then it kind
Yeah.
of, you had that entire town going after women and calling them witches and hunting them. So yeah, so I know what you're saying. But tell me something like, how would we be able to describe the genre of this film? Because we've discussed this, like when we were making it also, like it has like shades of horror, but it's not really a horror genre. I mean, there's thrill, it's got drama, and there's growth because of that drama in the narrative. So how do we really define the genre of this film? I think now's the time for us to do it.
Yeah, I think it's a fairy tale in the old sense of the word, not the Disney running through the daisies
Yeah.
fairy tale. Fairy tales were cautionary tales. They told you
Mm,
deep, dark, layered stories, and generally about girls. And that is what I think this is. This is a fairy tale in the old sense of the word. It's yes, it has got supernatural part to it, and that's what is fun and mysterious and all of that. It's not horror. The horror is not in the
mm.
supernatural part.
Yeah.
It's every.
The horror is more in what's happening. Like
Yes.
which is what I love about horror. Like people normally think horror means jump scares and
Cool.
shadows and
Yeah.
bhoot and ghosts and this and that, but it's not, right? Sometimes even actions are horrific, and just things which are scary, and whatever, just like
Horror of the people, horror of people's
yes,
action.
horror, yeah,
Yeah.
besides human nature, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's the other beauty of the film, which I think people will discover when they watch it. But I think we can also say maybe it's like a drama thriller, because it's
yeah,
got that
Yeah.
thrill. It's there's so many things unfolding in the narrative of the film, and you are wondering what's happening in the story, because there's that doubt as to
Element of
what is going
mystery.
on.
Yes.
So
yeah.
yeah, so one can say it's a drama thriller also.
A drama
I
thriller.
think
It's
Karnesh,
a
I realized that Karnesh,
so,
we've only been defining genres with a lot of films that we've produced.
Yeah.
Karnesh and me are constantly
this
trying
genre.
to,
I,
because we are just defined.
I
We're like,
think.
this is not this is this. Atmospheric
Yes.
horror. This is that.
Yeah. Which
We
is
have a
good because
commonality
it's
with
kind of again breaking the stereotypes. So we are
it.
cruel
Exactly.
in our own
Which
way.
is Bulbbul, yeah. Yeah, you can't say it's this or it's that. It's, yeah. Ultimately, films are stories, right? I mean, they're
Yes.
beautiful stories. And why do they have to be categorized and typecast into anything? Life is
Exactly.
not like that. So